Did you know that you can get a totally different look just by changing up the colors of an image? Today we are going to be creating a black and white as well as a beautiful bright floral bouquet. Hello and welcome to another Take Two with Therese at Altenew, and today I'm going to be making these two beautiful cards using this Craft Your Life project kit, which is called Feathered Lilies. Now these kits have absolutely everything you need to do multiple techniques and have lots of fun and create cards aplenty. Today I wanted to share with you how this beautiful big bouquet can look very different either by doing a black and white version or colouring it up. So I am actually stamping it here in the charcoal suit ink. It's not actually a black ink, it does look quite dark, but I wanted more of a tone on tone effect with the black and white look, and I'm using the mini ink blending tools as well as the detail ones to add a bit of shading and depth to my image. So there are 3 stencils in total in this set, and I love that you can just lay these stencils over top and colour multiple portions of the image at once. So all the leaves and the flowers are actually lined up all at the same time. It does make it much faster to colour up your images. Now I'm coming in with the detailed blending tool here, and you might have seen me just there. I was cleaning it off on some paper towel. I literally clean my brushes this way. I don't wash them at all. I just clean the ink off and then I'll pick up the next colour that I want to use. And because I don't wash my brushes, I do have to remember in between uses that I will need to clean it off and just make sure there's no residual ink left on the brush before I use it again. So the black and white image here that I'm creating, I really like the way that it makes it really easy and quick to do because I am only using the one group of colours, and it's the Gentleman's Grey collection of colours, and I've used the lightest one, which is Silver Lake, the grey denim, and then the darkest one, which is the charcoal suit. So you could do this as lightly or as dark as you want. I kind of wanted mine to be fairly bold and actually stand out, but if you wanted it to look more like a white flower perhaps, then I would certainly go with a lot less grey. Or you could even try the warm greys as well and get more of a sepia look. Just using the one tone of colours is a lot of fun on this image. So I was able just to work my way through the 3 stencils. It was really easy to work out which stencil went where. It was just a matter of shifting it around. The stencils are numbered, so that just tells me 2 things: which order I can do them in, so 1, 2, 3 if I want to do it that way. These ones don't particularly matter too much, but also which way faces up. So the Altenew symbol with the number, you can tell which is the correct side of the stencil. And the good thing about the dye inks too is that as they dry, they do sort of seep into the paper a little bit more, and the colour does even out. And I came in with the darkest colour to do the centre of the flowers. That's actually an extra portion on one of the layers. I think it was the first stencil. Alright, so I'm going to be doing some 3D embossing here, and I did have to cut the top of this cardstock off. It was a little bit too big to fit into the folder. And then it's just as simple as lining up the image with the folder and running it through my die cutting machine. For me, I get really good results on my Big Shot if I do tab 2 with the embossing folder with the cardstock in it, and then just one plate on top. And I have less cracking in my cardstock if I do it like this. I find that some machines, if they're a little bit tight, you're going to get some small cracks in the cardstock itself, but if you find a similar colour pencil, you can certainly just colour in over those areas. So I've cut my panel down. I'm adding a sentiment now, which is from the Fragile Foliage stamp set. I thought this would make a beautiful sympathy card, and then I just was able to simply pop this up on the front of an A2 side fold card with some foam. And I did come in and add some details using the fine liner. I just thought that really helped with the black, bringing that black sentiment in, because I'd stamped that in the obsidian. Alright, so I've already started on the bright image because it's coloured exactly the same. Although this time I did have to be careful because, like I said before, the images all line up at the same time. So you do not want to accidentally colour a petal as a leaf or colour into, and I did this a little bit, I did have to mask it off with some masking tape, and I probably should have masked it a little bit earlier because I did at one point go into the wrong section, but that's okay. I just went a little bit heavier handed with my other colour and it just all blended out. You'll never know. So I did the same thing each time I came in and added 3 layers of colour. So I started with my lightest colour, and then I came in with a second colour with the mini blending tool, and then to add the extra depth I'm using that detailed blending tool again. It just really allows you to pick up some bold colour and add some shading and depth to the images. And already this image looks so very different to the black and white one, and it's exactly the same. And the great thing about this big bouquet is just that it's going to make such a statement on a card, and you can actually move it around on your card so many different ways, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. How beautiful is that? I did come in with the espresso, and I have left my stamp in place, and I am going to re-stamp it with the obsidian ink. Initially I'd stamped it with the permanent black, but I wanted to make those edges of the image nice and crisp again. And by re-stamping it after I've done all the blending, it does just that. And that's a huge die. And I have decided to add some navy cardstock, which I've done some debossing on with the dotted tile cover die. And then I thought I'd add a sentiment from the Sweet Sentiments die set, and I've die cut that and layered it up in some white cardstock, but I've also cut it out of some of the Dazzling Diamond cardstock, so it's got that little bit of shimmer on the very top. And I find it easy just to use a liquid glue to create my layers of when their sentiments are such fine die cuts like this. And this time what I've done, like I was saying before, I've actually decided to flip the bouquet around and have it so that it's coming down from the top of the card. So that's the great thing about this big bouquet. It just looks so different on a card by changing up the colour to a black and white, but also because you can actually face it and place it differently on your card front. Now, because it's so big, I did have to flip it over and cut away the edges of the overhang there, so it's going to be able to fit in my envelope. I adhered the sentiment in place, and as a final touch, just to go with that little bit of glitter, I did add some Nouveau drops to the stamens in the center of the flowers. So this color combo makes me happy with the bright pinks and the green and the navy blue in the background. But for a sympathy card, I thought the black and white one was really stunning too. And I'd like to know which one is your favorite. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me here today. If you did enjoy today's video, please click on the thumbs up button to let me know that you did. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you joined us in our community here. I've linked 2 more floral videos here for you to enjoy. I'll look forward to seeing you there. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.